Did Francis Ngannou take a dive when he fought Anthony Joshua? Now, look, this is what some people are saying. Some people can't handle what's happening. Some people, they're struggling. The delusion is setting in. You know, the 7 stages of denial, and they're basically at the first step. So some people are saying, like, hey, the fight was rigged. We're going to take a look at one such person and we'll dive into it. So here's AJ Roberts from the AJ Roberts Show. I don't know who he is, but he's a former UK soldier. So salute to you, my brother. Respect to you and your service for your country. But let's take a look at what he said. He said, first, Jake Paul announces a fight with veteran Mike Tyson. Then we see this calamity. Boxing is dead. That's what he says. All right, so we're going to take a look at the calamity that he's referring to. All right, here it is right here. So you see he's saying that Joshua doesn't land the punch. Mute this. I don't want any issues with copyright. YouTube already giving me a hard time in removing my channel. All right, so he said most big fights are fixed rigged sports. This is what he says. Okay. So is he alleging this punch didn't land? All right, and so he's alleging that that punch didn't land. And Francis is such a good actor, he sold it in live time to the whole audience that he went down. Notice he doesn't show that third one, though. He doesn't show the one that absolutely flatlined Francis Ngannou. He shows these punches, but he doesn't show the one that flatlined Ngannou. And already that's skeptical to me. Now, there's a video down here, and I'm going to give this guy his full credit because I watched this video. And so he's a chemist. England going to walk with the world and change my algorithm. DM me. All right, so this guy, Didi Dinslow. So let me just pause this real quick. He said nothing fake about an MMA fighter getting his eyes kicked by a pro boxer. So we'll take a look at this video he made because it was dope. I want to give him all the credit in the world. And he breaks it down. So I really don't feel like there's much I need to say, but I'll say a little something after you watch this video.
AJ came out and immediately started jabbing to the body. He used his feints to draw out Francis's reaction to the jab. Francis was looking to either parry the jab or counter with a left hook. The first issue was that Francis was reacting to everything, including the feints. Because AJ was mixing up his targets to the head and body, it was difficult for Francis to place the counter left hook properly. Struggling to deal with the jab, Francis switched to southpaw, where he hoped to be able to more easily parry it. This is a common MMA overcorrection, because in that sport, opponents often lose their jab in the open stance. AJ was prepared though, and simply feinted his jab to draw out the parry, opening the lane for his mechanically perfect straight right hand.
Angles are very important. You see the punch land right on his face. The angle the other guy used.
When Francis returned to orthodox, AJ was happy to keep feinting his jab and throwing it to the body. Francis tried to adjust by jabbing with AJ, a game that AJ was more than happy to play because he knew that his jab would be better. Francis lacked the subtlety in positioning and timing to land his jab, and his lazy jabs from too far away opened him up to counters. Tired of AJ being just out of range, Francis started stepping in with his jab, but this just allowed AJ to counter the jab with even more force, catching Francis running forward onto his cross counter.
And you see that punch land.
Knowing that Francis's response was just to jab with him, AJ just needed to feint like he was dropping down for another jab to the body. This drew out the lead hand, allowing him to come over top of it with one final punch.
Wow, that's the best acting I've ever seen. Get this man Ngannou. Get him a contract. Yeah, so it was broken down perfectly in that video. As you saw, man, AJ just took advantage of the dude making the same mistakes, not knowing how to react to certain things. In the boxing ring, it is a game of high speed chess, and there's certain moves and reactions and things that you have to do. And if you don't know how you're supposed to deal with someone who's jabbing to the head, jabbing to the body, if you don't know how you're supposed to deal with certain aspects of a fight, then you place yourself in danger. He fell for the oldest trick in the book. Fake to the body, go over the top. Now, that's what we saw Canelo do to Amir Khan. We saw Canelo do that to James Kirkland. When you have lapses in judgment and you start to make mistakes or you overreact to certain things, that's what happens. Sometimes the best thing you can do is give away the jab to the body. Sometimes you just have to give that up because if you overreact to it, then they come over the top. It's a wrap, you know. So, anyways, do I think the fight was rigged? Hell no. Francis Ngannou is not that good of an actor, and his lights were put out immediately after. You saw the way he fell. Who can do that? Look at the way Ngannou fell immediately after being hit by the right hand. Who can do that? Yo, there's no way. Go try to emulate it right now. All right, I want to issue the Francis Ngannou challenge. I want to see people make videos trying to fall out and act like they got knocked out just as good as Francis Ngannou did. And let's see who's able to duplicate it. It's not an easy thing to do. And now you're telling me that an MMA fighter is going to do that? If they say that fighters can pretend being knocked out like that, they're the greatest actors in the world. I even heard that when Deontay Wilder knocked out Robert Helenius, and I was there, and trust me, that was no acting job. Like, I heard the punch, I saw the impact, and I saw Helenius laying out on the floor. Mike, again, man, people are going to find ways to discredit what Anthony Joshua does. In the end, you just got to give it to him. You said he didn't have killer instinct. You said he was mentally weak. A lot of people picked Francis Ngannou. A lot of people thought Ngannou was going to be able to intimidate him, walk through him, and even hurt Anthony Joshua. And Anthony Joshua made the dude look like an absolute novice, which is what a boxer is supposed to do. Anthony Joshua restored the reputation of boxing after Tyson Fury ruined it. And if you're from the school of, oh, Fury wasn't in shape, whatever, it doesn't matter. I always tell people this. Once you go between those ropes, nobody wants to hear excuses. When Spence Crawford happened, and trust me, I got blitzed by all the Crawford fans. I don't want to hear excuses from Spence. Once you step in between those ropes, all the excuses are done. Nobody wants to hear it. If you have an issue, like Fury had his eye cut, postpone the fight. If they fight on May 18th and the fight gets stopped because of Fury's cut, I don't want to hear any excuses. You knew you had to cut. You said you needed till May 18th. It went to May 18th. No excuses. Did Francis Ngannou take a dive against Anthony Joshua? Hell to the no. He got knocked the hell out. He got sparked out by the better boxer. That's what happens. Okay. Sorry to the people who cannot accept that. But that is the reality. You got to get over it. Salute to Anthony Joshua. Looking forward to the next fight. Peace.